Turn back. Have to make sure I was straight. Why everybody love Yeat? Let's get into it. This day long as hell.
My immediate reaction when I heard Yeat for the first time last summer was, please God, no, not another artist that appeals exclusively to teenagers and ends up creating an annoyingly obsessive fan base who comment Yeat better on every single video about any artist or topic that isn't Yeat. And that may kind of be an exaggeration, but
I get what you're
it's also
saying.
not. But then myself.
No, but then let me give my quick summary on Yeat. So, quick little rundown. Finding out about Yeat. Okay, so you know, I didn't know who he was, right? Then you start hearing this hype around him. Okay, and I believe I looked up his vid. I think I seen this vid. You know how sometimes when you look up an artist and you keep like swiping down for so long, then it starts showing other artists and shit. I think I seen one of his vids, but I never really clicked on it because I was tapped into the underground. I really wasn't tapped in. I was listening to certain artists, but he wasn't one of the ones I was listening to. I was only listening to a couple of them, and then after that, I don't know. I just played this song. I didn't like. I listened to it, but I wasn't really like paying attention. I just listened to it to see what it sounded like. I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't take it too serious. You know what I'm saying? I never called trash, none of that. I just played it. I was just curious what it sounded like. Because I'm like curious to see what this hype about. Then I come back to it again. You know, I see another artist and I see the song again. So I click it, I play it again. I go back to it, I play it. I looked them up that time. Played the song. Like I said, same thing. Never really take it too serious. Just listen to it. Cool, whatever. Then I think the song that put me really just said, fuck it, I'm finna bump him. I think I was on SoundCloud and I heard sorry about that. Cause I think I was watching the little vlogs from Our Music Generation. So I watched one of their vlogs because they had a little concert and he performed like, yeah, that shit beat. So I played that walking to Walmart one night. And then I went back to get bit. I'm like, yep. Now I'm listening to it, boom. And ever since then, the Yeat wave been hard. Let's go though.
Second thought right after was, damn, this song is actually kind of hard. I'm Philip, this is Volksgeist, and you're watching Why Everyone is Obsessed with Yeat. This video is brought to you by
That nigga
80,000 Hours, a
I don't know,
nonprofit
bro.
sponsor that isn't
Like he
asking
just
you to
like
buy
that, bro.
anything,
You know
but
what I'm
rather
saying? Like the
offering to help
swag.
you
It's
find a
some.
fulfilling career that
Oh
can make a
shit.
positive difference in the world completely for free. Let's talk more about that and the worst artists they've ever heard. So where is massive? This guy is hands down the biggest rapper for the video. Well, not everyone is obsessed with Yeat, but at the time of me making this video, he has about 7 million monthly listeners on Spotify, about the same as someone like Young Me. Definitely not unknown, but not at all mainstream either. But the buzz around Yeat right now is massive. This guy is hands down the biggest rapper to come up in the past year and a half. And his rise to the top has been so fast, everything about him and his music is unexpected. But like any good underground rapper who's coming up with a sound that's unlike anything before, Yeat's also got a legion of haters who say he's one of the worst artists they've ever heard. So where is he going? Where did he come from? And why does everybody love Yeat? Born to a Mexican father and a Romanian mother, Noah Olivier Smith grew up in Irvine, California, and moved to Portland, Oregon later as a teenager. He's only 22 years old.
I ain't gonna lie. That's a Yeat hard. If you don't follow Yeat, you just, I don't know, bro. It's kind of hard to like explain you because Yeat. If you really sit back and listen, you're like, damn. Because I was listening to some of this song and I'm like, this shit crazy. This nigga's different. Yeasty. Look at that. But I think hard though.
Musical influences in interviews, some of the names he mentions most often include Young Thug, Future, and T-Pain. When talking about T-Pain, Yeat said that he's the GOAT of autotune, and as we all know, music today wouldn't be the same without the presence of autotune as an artistic choice.
So T-Pain got the press when Usher told him
to Future and T-Pain in his bedroom to a rapper that many people consider a visionary artist with a top 10 album and passionate cosigns from everyone in the music industry, from Lil Uzi and Gunna to Young Thug and Drake and The Weeknd. Yeat has been making music for a long time. He first started posting publicly online when he was 15 years old, back in 2015, when the biggest rap albums around were At Long Last ASAP, To Pimp a Butterfly, Rodeo, and Barter 6. The persona of Yeat didn't come out of nowhere. This is something he's been working towards for a very long time. Yeat's earliest music, back when he called himself Lil Yeat from 2015 to around 2018, is pretty much gone from the internet. And honestly, I can see exactly why he wouldn't want it around anymore. If you Google Yeat's first song, there's a Reddit post that comes up claiming to be a Yeat song called Foreign from 2017. And honestly, it's a pretty terrible track. 5 years ago, Yeat simply didn't know how to make a song. If I'm being honest, this song sounds a lot like what most of y'all send me in my DMs talking about, yo, Volksgeist, I'm 16 years old and I think I'm the next Travis Scott. Can you please post my music? And I never respond because I like to go by the rule. If you can't say anything nice, just don't say anything at all.
Hold on. Please review my music. Is it fire? I swear it's so good. Next up, I'm like Nick Travis Scott. I had a kid with Carly Rae. What?
I'm definitely not trying to dunk on teenage Yeat because I actually think it's pretty cool that he started off posting music as a 16-year-old kid with terrible autotune, rapping on top of generic melodic trap Travis Scott type beat number 56. There is absolutely no way I could have guessed that he would end up so popular just listening to this song. If you put this track in a lineup and said one of these artists will end up with 7 million monthly listeners and the others will give up on music in 6 months, I wouldn't be able to tell which one was Yeat off this song alone. And I think that's an important thing to know about an underground artist who later found.
I heard some of Yeat older shit too, by the way, but this shit wasn't that bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? His older shit, like, it was great. Like, his new shit better, obviously, but like, even his old shit. The person we should be really looking. Hold on, I don't want to spoil it.
Rap stars, but the truth is, success doesn't come overnight. It doesn't come easy, and absolutely nobody sounds like a fully grown artist when they first get started. It takes a long time to find your voice and build a persona. It's not easy. Even someone like Yeat, who now at the age of 22 sounds like an alien from another world, he started as a random kid making some mid-ass music in his childhood bedroom. If you are trying to make it in music and you haven't made it yet, the only path forward is to just keep going. Yeah. Another one of Yeat's early tracks is the song Fences, which starts off with a sentimental, bluesy guitar instrumental before Yeat raps apathetically, sounding like a young American Young Lean, with his vocals just completely drenched in autotune the whole way through. It's not half bad, and he was definitely figuring out how to craft a song, but there was still a long way to go for Yeat to become the artist he is today. So much of his early work just sounded generic. But at the same time, I understand why Yeat deleted most of his early music off the internet and changed his name. By the time he did find a stronger artistic sensibility, he probably didn't want to be associated with his old sound anymore. That's why the earliest Yeat music that's officially available online is from 2018. And it's a song called Brink, posted on the underground YouTube music channel Elevator. Brink only has about 70,000 views, but the comments on this song tell a whole different story compared to a track like Foreign. Uploaded over 4 years ago, the comment section is full of stuff like, y'all don't understand that this kid is inventing new melodies. This is insane. And people were saying everyone is sleeping on Yeat, he's so fire, and yeah, this is the future, no discussion. Even 4 years ago, way before Yeat had any recognition in the industry, people could tell that he had what it takes. But he never would have even reached that point if he didn't start from the bottom and build up his craft over a period of years. We're talking 3 or 4 years before Yeat got any success at all. And honestly, Brink is actually a good song. It definitely sounds dated now because the beat is, again, generic melodic SoundCloud trap. That genre is deader than dead, but Yeat's flow on this track is top-notch. He knew exactly how to create a smooth, catchy melody, and the flow is pretty much perfect. This definitely isn't his final form, but you can really hear how hard he had worked to level up his delivery in every single way.
Yeah, it most definitely got better over time, for sure.
One of the things about Yeat's early music is that it sounded nothing like what he makes today. Because the music he's making now, that sound just didn't exist back in 2018. 2018 was the SoundCloud, melodic trap, distorted bass, XXXTentacion era. So before Yeat found the style he uses now, another important part of his evolution was joining the online rap collective Slay World. Slay World was an online collective made up of over a dozen different rappers, including artists like Summers, Can, Autumn, and more. And if you listen to a track by someone like Summers or Can, you can definitely hear how much similarity there is to Yeat in terms of beat selection, flows, and vocal delivery. And even though the group of Slay World rappers never really went anywhere, where they didn't really escape the underground. Working with and being around those guys definitely helped Yeat continue to develop into the artist he is today. Yeat's first big moment, his first viral song, basically the beginning of his
That
career
nigga
as we
getting
know
fat
it,
too.
was only last
Getting
year
dad
in
bod.
July. At the time Sorry About That went viral, he had never even performed live before. Yeat's first big moment was The Bell. Sorry About That was a huge hit on TikTok with more than 200,000 videos made
Get
using the
busy.
song. And it's not hard to see why. The TikTok algorithm rewards songs with viral, quotable moments that can be reposted over and over again and used for different bits and memes and jokes. And Sorry About That was absolutely the perfect song to get stupid popular on TikTok. With the Sorry About That chorus and the bells, Yeat was all over TikTok in the summer of 2021. But his viral success was accompanied
Nah, that
by
nigga
tons
swag
of
just
people
go hard
absolutely
though. I ain't gonna lie.
despising his lyrics, his voice, his beats. People were claiming that hip-hop was doomed if this is what we listen to nowadays, but it was only a matter of weeks before Yeat was getting cosigns and shout-outs from some of the biggest and most influential figures in hip-hop. In August and September of 2021, Yeat was getting shout-outs from Pierre Bourne, Drake, Lil Uzi, Lil Yachty, Baby Keem, Trippie Redd. Even Earl Sweatshirt was expressing appreciation for what Yeat was doing. They all seemed excited about Yeat's unique sound and creative beat selection, and it seemed like Yeat was the future. And a big part of that hype came from Yeat's working relationship with Zach Bia, a record exec who introduced Yeat to Drake and helped him get a deal with Interscope for his first project, Up To Me. Just a month or two after he blew up on TikTok, Yeat dropped Up To Me, his first major label album. Up To Me was an hour-long project that overall gives a lot of insight into the type of artist that Yeat is going to be in his career. This album is an hour long, but its songs are short, 56 minutes, 22 songs. And honestly, none of these tracks really stick out as being particularly different from the others. Despite its length, it's very momentary and quick, mostly because of Yeat's completely transitory and random songwriting and recording process. During interviews from the past, Yeat has talked about how he records himself at home without an engineer and doesn't usually have a big plan or anything like that before he goes in to make songs. He thinks of words and raps them on top of a beat. And because of this method, Yeat's greatest strength ends up being the quality of his melodies, his flows, and his ad-libs, to the point where things like lyrics and storytelling basically don't apply to Yeat at all. Because of his lack of structured lyrics or narratives.
Okay, let me ask y'all this. Is y'all more for lyrics or y'all just like to don't care about lyrics? Y'all just want to hear cool shit? I'm more on the cool shit side. I don't care for lyrics too much. Like, lyrics is cool here and there. Like, I could. That don't mean I won't listen to some of the lyrics. Some of that should be fine. But I like the quick shit. I'm more on the just saying hype shit. Perk sling guns and shit. The turn up shit. So it's like I'm more on that
Time
side.
spent listening to a full Yeat album ends up being mostly only bookmarked by the variety of his beat selection, which could definitely be considered a flaw in his music, but honestly, Yeat's beat selection is really, really good. And honestly, I think without such a varied beat
it's just the
selection,
swag, bro. Everything like Yeat, I don't know, everything just meshes with it's like the swag, with how he be rapping. All that shit just mixes so well, bro. I don't know what it is. If he got his own little language, Tonka, and geeky, little geeky, all this just he just the ultimate cool. You know what I'm saying? Just a perfect mesh.
There
The
are
swag.
so many different motifs and sounds
It just
in Up
hits.
To Me, and it makes the album feel alive and multidimensional in a way that it would not if Yeat's vocals themselves were the focus of the songs. Yeat's projects just aren't big albums full of concepts and storytelling. And I really doubt that there are many people, if any at all, who listen to these records from start to finish. That's just not the kind of project it is. But at the same time as making kind of weak albums makes a lot of people critical of Yeat, that's also the thing that makes him so powerful and unique. Yeat has only been in the music industry maybe a year and a half, but he's already got so many songs to blow up on TikTok and social media, and so many streams and so many passionate fans, and it's mostly because he works a lot, makes a lot of records, and he knows exactly what his fans are looking for in the music. Yeat's lack of lyrics is an intentional choice. Even though he's only rapping about the same three things over and over, money, drugs, women, in a really apathetic, uninterested sounding inflection, that's not a flaw. That's just a way for him to let the other qualities of the music shine. Would there even be room for the chaotic, trippy beats and bells and wild flows and melodies if he did focus on lyrics? It wouldn't make as much sense to have him be a storytelling technical rapper, and that's why he's not. Two Alive is Yeat's second album, released less than 6 months after his first, and with the deluxe edition, it's almost 90 minutes long. Again, it works very similar to his first record in that it's an extremely long collection of tracks with absolutely nothing tying them together in the way that you traditionally imagine an album to do so. The biggest differences on Two Alive are firstly that this project debuted at number 6 on the Billboard 200 as opposed to Up to Me's peak ranking of 183.
Number 6.
And secondly, a big difference with Two
Number
Alive
6
is that this record has some pretty high-profile guest features with
Lil Uzi. Damn, I ain't know you went number 6
get
is
the most
different. But the thing, like I said, man,
what will make you feel
with verses from Ken Carson, Young Thug, Gunna, and 2 features from Lil Uzi. Truthfully, most of the songs on Yeat albums are pretty indistinguishable from each other. That doesn't mean it's not fun to put on a Yeat record and listen to it all the way through. It's pretty entertaining, and honestly, I found Up to Me more listenable than Whole Lotta Red at times. Each of Yeat's projects has some really interesting creative highlights that are memorable.
Whole Lotta
sure.
Red is
When you
goated,
zoom out and listen to one of these records all the way through, there isn't that much to remember in the bigger picture of a whole 60, 70, 90-minute long album. When I think about what I like from Up to Me, I really like the bell motif throughout the production. I really like the beat selection and the way Yeat works with so many different producers. I think Yeat's flows and melodies and ad-libs are really, really good. But overall, it's easy to understand why some people just don't get it from an album perspective. These albums don't have storytelling. They don't have intros and outros. They don't have, a lot of features. There's not a lot going on in the song structure, big choruses, bridges, hooks. If that's what you're looking for,
that nigga low-key barely missed.
I haven't even gotten into the way that Yeat is able to completely make up words and use them in his songs, and his whole fan base will just follow along and start using those words too, bro. To the point where there are
Twizzy,
whole YouTube
Tonka,
videos
Crank,
dedicated to explaining Yeat's vocabulary. Talking about Tonka, Twizzy, Miney. It might sound goofy, but that says a lot about the levels of creativity and originality that Yeat is going for with his music. There are a lot of criticisms that get aimed at Yeat's music over and over. People have been saying that the lyrical tradition of hip-hop is doomed if Yeat is the future of the genre. People say that his albums are bloated and full of one-dimensional songs. People say he's a ripoff of Pierre Bourne and Playboi Carti. And people say that his scope is too narrow. He makes the same song over and over with no innovation.
That shit fire though, man.
I think Yeat is essentially a creative genius, and anyone who disagrees is proof that in many ways he's ahead of his time. Here's my favorite quote from an article titled "Yeat is the Future, Maybe." Yeat's music sounds almost ahistorical, trapped in a constant present, but it's not hard to trace the lineage of his influence. He's part of a line that starts with Lil Wayne and goes through Future, Young Thug, and Playboi Carti. Yeat is nowhere near a great rapper. He doesn't seem to be that interested in being a great rapper. But Yeat has personality. He understands how to use his voice to take up space at the center of these maddening beats. Two Alive is way too long and way too dumb, but at its best, it finds a strangely hypnotic space. Yeat understands the kind of rapper that he wants to be, and he never edges outside of his lane. His lane is entirely his. The stars are aligning for Yeat. At least in the short term, he's about to be a big deal. Ultimately, Yeat's sound is so unexpected and unlike anything else, from the insane auto-tune and flows to his wild beat selection from dozens of different producers all combining the most distorted, glitchy sounds that they possibly can all at the same time. Yeat is something we've never heard before, and it's all him. He's by far one of the most creative rappers to come out in the past few years. I mean, his music, his sound, his rapping, his flows, everything. It's got Yeat written all over it. He is a character. It only makes sense that millions of people would rally around him and support whatever he makes. In the past few months of Yeat's career, he's only become more and more popular. With his concerts getting shut down due to overcrowding, lyrical lemonade music videos, and features from major artists, in addition to a violently passionate fan base who seem to truly feel like Yeat is the greatest artist of our time, he's basically the #1 rising rapper to watch right now. Does he sound anything like what we've heard in the past? No. But is that exactly what we need right now in a time when music is way too similar and it all feels like so many artists are putting money and celebrity before the art? Having someone like Yeat who makes no sense, whose music exists for its own sake and doesn't fit in with a crowd, that's exactly why he's the breakout artist of the past few years. Everything about Yeat is unique, from the hyperactive rage beats, the way he created his own bizarre dialect, to his melodies and his many different flows. Whether or not he lasts the test of time is anyone's guess, but right now, Yeat is one of the most interesting rappers out there. Even if it doesn't make sense to you yet, remember that art changes, culture changes, and just because Yeat may not sound good to you, doesn't mean he isn't one of the most creative young artists working today. To quote Zach Bia, the record exec who signed Yeat and helped him get a big boost in the early part of his career, artists like Young Thug and Carti have already broken down a lot of doors. The internet's completely changed with TikTok, and the way the world is set up now, there's a perfect storm for someone new and unique to come in. It's time for a new generation. I feel like there's been artists that have dominated the last decade, and now as we're looking at the new era of music, it's prime for someone new to come in, and I think Yeat is that artist. I'm Philip, this is Volksgeist, thank you for watching. And speaking of making an impact and ushering in a new world and has a positive impact, you can click the link in the video description or head over to 80,000hours.org/Volksgeist, and they'll give you a completely free, interesting options.
But yeah, no. One thing he didn't mention, I heard that so really the real OG, the real guy we should be shouting out is Wheeling. I heard Wheeling allegedly. This is what I heard. Wheeling he was rapping, but he didn't have like it was like he had the talent, but he just didn't have the right preset. And I guess Wheeling was the one who was supposed to. He's another underground artist, by the way. So Wheeling was the one who gave Yeat the preset that he uses now, and that's what took him off. So sometimes it ain't even about the music. It's just sometimes you ain't got the right preset. So Wheeling gave him the right preset, and that's what really it was like the final piece to the puzzle. It was like the final gemstone to the Thanos glove. You know what I'm saying? So shout out Wheeling. He the one who really put it on for show. He gave him that preset. That's what I allegedly. I don't know how true that is, but overall, that's what I heard. Shout out, man. But yeah, overall, bro, that nigga Yeat, bro, that nigga just hard, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Like that nigga got Turbin. That nigga got Up to Me. Well, I think that's the album name, but he got a lot of songs. Mad about that. Sorry about that. Get Busy. Money Talk. Lil Crank. Like he just got hits, bro. I ain't gonna lie, but that nigga just go crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie. The swag just be hidden. Everything just be that nigga different. Anyway, man. That's gonna do it for the vid though. Like, subscribe, catch on this video. I'm gone. Go shot.